Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Addie and today we are back with another speed build. This one is a little bit different. This one is the last part to building the recreation center for Oasis Springs. It's going to replace the park, or it does replace the park. And this one is a speed build because I spend a lot of time going through debug and stuff, so it was just easier to do a speed build than to try to do like a you know the build that I have been doing, the style of build that I have been doing for this. So we are starting out with this center piece, and I'm just sort of fiddling with it. I really wanted this to be sort of like an outdoor cafe area, so that's what we're trying to do right now. And I did realize that the front part of the, like, whatever you want to call it, the floor above the cafe, I did realize that that was thicker in the front. It was 4 tiles instead of 3 tiles. So we will fix that, but not yet, unfortunately. So right now I am going through and getting some of these because I wasn't sure if I wanted to use them, and it's debug and I don't have cheats or mods or anything. So not build mods. I have like gameplay mods, but those are a different kind of vibe. So we have that, and then we are just going through and stockpiling these trees because of the same thing. And my goal in going through debug is that I am going to be getting a lot of different things, but I'm going to be specifically getting some rocks, because I really love the concept of like having rocks hold up the what do you call it, the, I don't know, the thingy above it. I don't know, you know. So we are moving the trees and getting some rocks to blend that in and sort of hold it up. It is kind of an interesting thing, because I don't normally do this. Next, well, this next Thursday, so this upcoming Thursday, I will be posting the second build of the um, land grab house, which is still not done. I did a lot. I finished all of the above ground, and then I have to add in the basement and like do all of that. Um, so that's what we will be doing. And right now, I finished placing the rocks, so we're just going through and doing the like kid area. So we've got some swings, we've got a jungle gym, and then um and the skating rink, and I wanted to have a couple of things for a couple of different ages. So I add this slide, which counts as a jungle gym. I don't really understand why, but it does. So I add that in there, and then we have a lot of rocks going on right now. And I do end up getting rid of some of the palm trees that I have, but for right now, we have quite a few of them going around. And then I'm just going through and putting in these little spiky boys. I don't actually know their name. I'm not a plant person. I'm an animal person. If you've ever met an autistic person, they've had one of 3 hyperfixations or special interests: space, animals, and I had a third one, and now I can't remember what it is. Space, animals, or plants. space, animals, plants. I feel like that's like kind of basic, and obviously not every autistic person, but like most autistic people have had an interest in one of those three. I know my grandfather really loves space, um, and I am 95% sure he is also autistic and was just never diagnosed because he's 80 years old. Um, but he, yeah. Um, I always just, when people are like, well, how do you know? And I'm like, well, he used to collect and categorize the National Geographic magazines. That seems pretty autistic to me. Um, anyway, so I think I know where I got it from. But we are going through and putting in some more rocks, and I really love debug. I could never like I watched the tutorials for Better Build By, and I could not figure out the Better Build By mod, and so I got rid of it. Um and yeah, so I got rid of it, and now I have to deal with digging through debug, which is why this is a speed build and not like a live a let's build sort of style video, because it would be a little bit tedious to watch me do all of this in real time. Um, because I'm basically going through and putting rocks and bushes in to hide or to like make your Sims be like, oh, this is an object, because that makes sense that you would not walk through the giant rocks. Um, so we have that. And I'm putting bushes. I always put this bush because it's kind of big and round and easy to scale. But I realized later in the build that I could totally have just used instead, and it would have been just the same, and easier to hide. But anyway, I didn't think about it until the end. Um, so we are moving on from the landscaping, and I won't be doing the terrain paint until the end. Oh, I guess we're not moving on from the landscaping. We are adding bushes to the inside of these rocks now as well. Which your Sims probably won't be going back there much anyway, but better to have your Sims just like not worry about it too much. Like I don't yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want to have to worry about it too much. So anyway, we're going through and we're adding some rocks in here so your Sims avoid walking through those plants as much as you can. There's no reason why they should walk through those plants, but I really wanted to make sure. So we have those, and then I did go through and re-add in the paths. I wasn't sure how much they would change, so I ended up deleting them, and then we add them back in um, for a little bit, and then I'm going through and adding those rocks in. And then we are adding a path, and I really love this path. I think it's pretty. Not necessarily this particular terrain paint, but just like the path that I make is really pretty. And I feel like it works and it makes sense. So we have that, and then we're just going through and putting some rocks and dirt and things around the place to sort of, because your Sims should be going along the path, even though like the path itself is kind of like obvious and straightforward. Your Sims should walk on it because of that. Um, and then we're making the path look less the same by layering some terrain paint. I add some dirt and I add some other stones and sand and everything in there. And um, so we're just finishing that up, and then I do the same on the other path towards the community garden. And then we are going through and lining all of the pathways with dirt. And I particularly like this dirt because it's kind of like an orangey copper kind of color. I think it's really pretty. Um, so we are doing that, and then we're going to be going through and adding like a bunch of terrain paint other places. And I hate how the terrain paint underneath the rounded bits is glitched. So you have to move the room and then paint the terrain paint and then put the room back in order to have it like fit in, but I don't know. Anyway, we have this, and then going through and lining everything with the terrain paint. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. I did fix the foundation everywhere, which was a good unexpected side effect of that. And then just making sure that the terrain paint is all good. And then we decorate this section. So we have a couple of stair areas, stair railings, and I wanted to make sure that your Sims could use this as a cafe if you wanted them to. So we have, um, I found that Sims in cafes don't actually really use tables, so I wasn't too concerned about that, but we do have a few tables down here, and then they actually have bar stools instead. But I thought they were really pretty. And then we will be um, just putting a couple of laptops. I feel like that's pretty realistic. I feel like a lot of people spend time on laptops when they're at cafes. And I did want to make sure that there was something for your Sims to do for all their needs. So I will be adding more, but there are benches, there are those laptops for fun. We have quite a few things to do for fun, but the laptops included. We have gym equipment, we have showers and toilets, and the kitchenette in the gym. We have the cafe. Through and adding some lights. I know that it is difficult to see out here, so we have those, and then I do end up getting one more right here, and it lights up weird over there, but you just sort of have to get used to it. So I fiddle around with that for a little bit, and apparently it was just where it was placed. So I move it like half a tile, and then it's fine. Um, and then we're getting a couple of these busking stations. I don't actually know if your Sims could use these, but it's fine. If you can hear my dog snoring, she's right next to me. So, we have that, and then we're getting some lights, and I wanted to make sure that it was pretty well lit because um yeah, so because I felt like it made sense. So we're doing that, and then I am just getting a few more lights. I contemplated adding another one in the community garden, and I decided not to. And then we're getting benches. These change. I realize I have benches, so we add these in instead. And then we um should be finishing up. Oh, and I add a couple of grills as well in case you wanted your Sims to make food. So we have that as well as the kitchenette in the gym. And then there are places to sleep and fun and social. People will be here, so hopefully that is that works for everyone. And then I'm just adding a couple of finishing touches, and we are coming to the end of the video. So if you liked this, you could like and subscribe. That would really mean a lot, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Bye.